So why do I need a knowledge base? Well, yeah, first of all, I would say that I think clinical governance across the allied health sector, based on what I've seen and experienced, is pretty poor. And a lot of it's due to, the amount of sole traders and small providers there are. But even, medium providers, large providers I come across, a lot of them on paper have great policies or great procedures, or a lot of them are just bought like a policy pack online. But in terms of good governance, it's the actual implementation of that. Like, there's no point having great policies or procedures if no one on the team, none of the frontline staff actually know what they are or how to use them or actually implementing them. So yeah, in this video, we're going to run through what I think is the gold standard of how to set up a centralized knowledge base. So yeah, a few things are commonly here. We're not NDIS registered. We don't need policies, procedures, anything like that. Yeah, it's not actually true. The NDIS code of conduct, the NDIS commission, all that type of thing, you're still accountable to them. It's actually one of the NDIS Commission's priorities for this financial year was a crackdown on unregistered providers, and we're seeing that across both aged care and NDIS. There's increase in compliance requirements, increase in priorities. There's going to be mandatory registration, all that type of thing one day. So yeah, even if you're not registered, you should have good governance. Another common thing I see is, we don't get complaints, we don't have incidents. That's a huge red flag to auditors, and if there are any mandatory complaints, incidents, that type of thing. Organization should get them, and you should gather feedback. Just a lot don't log it or actually track it. So yeah, we're going to run through a few things why I think an online central knowledge base is absolutely key, why I don't like PDF or Word doc procedures, and yeah, basically why no one actually reads 100-page policy and procedure manuals. I think it should be an online living knowledge base. So let's get stuck into it. So yeah, this is a SharePoint knowledge base. You can set something up similar on Google Sites, but I'm just going to run through SharePoint here because it's what I use and what most people use. So first of all, I think the overall structure, this knowledge base, the main sort of intranet, you could call it that, this should be a SharePoint communication site. Communication sites are basically it's a bit more for org-wide updates. There's no team attached to it. It's a bit more for sharing things across the entire organization. You can set this up as the main hub, it's called. And then what I think is the best end is if you're a larger organization, if you only have under 10 staff, let's say, you probably don't, or you're only one discipline, you probably don't need multiple team sites. But if you're a bit bigger, you might have this, for example, OT team site, which looks a little bit different. This is more for collaborating and working together as a small team, and it will have a Microsoft team attached to it. So yeah, if I go to my teams over here, you can see the OT team here has, a few channels, whatever, any team meetings, they'll get recorded and stored in here. So yeah, one communication site and then multiple team sites, I think is the best way to structure things. Everyone gets access to this, OTs get access to this, physios access to this, admin, and so on. Now, in terms of the structure of a knowledge base, again, this is just an example. I think you want to keep it as simple as possible. And the bigger you are, the more complex and challenging this can be to, get this structure down pat. So I like to have some main headings up here. Here are just some examples. You can have service delivery, a few subheadings below that. Resources, again, same thing, a few subheadings. Safety and quality, again, this is your sort of real important governance, audit type stuff, procedures, forms, registers, and then a policy library, which we'll look at a little bit later on. So yeah, again, the more pages and things you have, the more confusing this can be. It can be overwhelming. You want to make sure it's user-friendly for the frontline staff. If you need help setting this up, I've got a few techniques and frameworks and stuff I use to make this user-friendly and keep it simple and categorize everything together. And then in terms of the structure of SharePoint pages and that type of thing. So again, this is just the home page of a knowledge base. It's pretty basic. You can make one a lot nicer than this. This is just a starting point. Again, some text here. You can have upcoming events, Christmas parties, CPD, in-services, whatever. This is a separate and longer conversation on how to communicate through Microsoft 365. So what do you use news posts for? What do you use emails for? What do you use Microsoft Teams for? And again, a structure I commonly use is, news posts for things really important, emails for important updates, Teams for informal stuff, or individual OT, physio-specific stuff. But again, that's a separate and longer conversation I'd happily talk to anyone about. and then some useful links and things over here. You could have, directors over here, links to your PMS, all sorts of things. But yeah, you can make this look a lot nicer than my example one here. And then let's look into the structure of an actual page or procedure on SharePoint. So I think this is what the gold standard should look like. Procedures should be pages, they should be online, they should be live documents. Policies can be static documents, PDFs, Word docs, that type of thing. We'll look at that in a second. But yeah, if we go to the incident procedure, the other thing I think procedures should have as a gold standard is they should have a video attached to them as well. So again, incident management, maybe not, it's not the best thing for a procedure, but for a video, but like really important, like clinical, operational things like how to write a progress note in your practice management software, or I don't know, something really operational. I think every procedure or SOP should have a simple video up the top and then written instructions down the bottom. And you can use AI to make this really easy. I use Loom, just record quick videos, then use the transcript, run it through AI, make a procedure. I can show you how to do that if you want, but it's pretty simple. So yeah, video guide, written instructions, and then a column on the right-hand side linking to the relevant things. So we have this incident management procedure here. We then have the incident form, the incident register, the related policy, and then any important related links as well. So everything to do with incidents is just on one live page. It's not spread across 5 different, nested Google, nested OneDrive folders that no one knows where they are. People don't know how to find things. Use this one page. Everything to do with incidents, you just go here, and that'll take care of everything you need. You might have aged care, you might have NDIS, you might have other bodies you go with. They can all just be in one location here and all linked together. Procedures should be online, because if you're using PDFs or Word docs for procedures, if you want to update something simple, we're just changing a simple thing in here, whatever it may be, you have to reissue that Word doc or PDF to absolutely everyone. So yeah, if you rely online for procedures, everyone's always looking at the most up-to-date version of it. And these good procedures should be like live documents that are constantly being updated as you're reviewing incidents, continuous improvements, all that type of thing. You should be constantly updating your operational procedures. Really, really important. The other thing too is these look good on mobile as well. So again, a clinician on their phone just has one, they just have the knowledge base bookmarked on their phone. They can access absolutely everything from here and, see what, they can view the video on their phone, see the procedure, see the links here. They're not trying to find a PDF that they have saved in their emails somewhere from 2 years ago. It's all just in this one centralized location. So we'll look at a few of these things that, the incident procedure as an example links to. So the policies, first of all. So I think policy libraries on SharePoint, there should be one flat library. So there should be no folders in your policy library. What this essentially is this is like a policy register and the actual policies themselves as well. So you might have 50 policies in here, and you have these columns with what are called like metadata over here. So you can change what all these look like. You have categories, review dates, version numbers, status, all that type of thing. So you're essentially doing 2 things at once in one central location. You have the actual policies themselves, and then you have all the, governance around them. What, most important, like what are the review dates, all that type of thing. You can set up automations and a few things, or just actually, formatting stuff to see which ones are out of date. And then if they're all in one flat library with no folders, you can then filter through and search for. I want to filter for just clinical governance ones. I want to see the archive ones, all that type of thing. You can have different views. This is basically like a combination of documents and Microsoft lists, if you're familiar with that. And speaking of Microsoft lists, that's what we're going to look at next. I think it's a great solution, much better than Excel for like registers. So if we go back to our, I'll just go over here, that incident management page. Here's the incident register itself. And this is a Microsoft list. And basically, again, this is a live central list of all the incident forms that are being completed. So in a Microsoft list, if you go to the forms thing up here, you can create forms, or here we have this internal incident report form. Only you have to be logged in to fill it out, all that type of thing. I'll fill out some information in here quickly just so we can see what it looks like. Add attachments, click submit, and done. And then if we go to the incident register here now, we can see here's that incident we just filled out. And yeah, you can basically track things in here. It's just, this is your live register that's constantly updating that multiple people can collaborate on. If I open it up, you know, you can change things in here. We can say it's resolved now. And then the cool things with Microsoft Lists, again, much better than Excel, is you have this like comment history and version history and all that type of thing as well. So I can say, you know, just add some pretend comments over here, and then you can even tag people as well. So I only have my wife, my bookkeeper, on my Microsoft 365, but if this was a team leader or a receptionist or admin person, whatever, you could say, you know, please call the family as an example or something, and that'll actually send them an email notification, and then they can add a comment and tag you back saying, yep, all done, they were happy, close the incident, that type of thing. You can track all your actions of an incident here, which is really useful. So yeah, I think that's basically it. I think, yeah, main things, your navigation up the top here, communication sites, team sites over here, basic homepage, figure out how to, you know, make this user friendly, all these different menus and drop downs, that type of thing. And yeah, please, highly, I think absolute gold standard, get your procedures on to some kind of knowledge base, again, whether it's SharePoint, whether it's Notion, whether it's Google Sites, just something. So yeah, basically that's it. Yeah, one central location, one place for everyone to look at, works on mobile. They can search up here. They can find absolutely everything they ever need to find in this, you know, based on this one website that bookmarked in their browser. Again, I think SharePoint's phenomenal for this. You can use other platforms, Google Sites, Notion, that type of thing. I absolutely love setting up things like this and talking about knowledge bases and structuring information. So yeah, if you want any help with this, please get in contact with me, send me an email, book in a call with me. But yeah, let's level up, you know, the governance across the allied health sector. Thanks, guys.